So as a reminder, guys, simple versus compound interest. If you haven't had the chance to write this set of notes down, just go ahead and take a screenshot or go ahead and write it down. But remember, there is a clear difference between simple and compound interest. So does someone want to grab the mic? So go ahead and raise your hand in the participant list here. Raise your hand if you want to explain your current understanding of the difference between simple and compound interest. What's your current understanding? Dominique, let's go.
My current understanding would be that the simple interest would be money that keeps adding to that principal of the original amount, and then the compound interest would be adding to the previous amount.
I like that. And he kept it nice and short there too. So Dominique, my bad. I got a little feedback there from you, Dominique. But yeah, what Dominique was saying is like, yo, simple interest, you keep it simple. You only get interest off of what you initially put in. Compound interest is a little more complicated. And with that, you keep doing the interest based off of the previous year. So if I go ahead and put some money in today, I get my interest for next year. And then what's going to happen is I'm going to earn interest off of my interest, because compound means that it adds on itself, interest on interest. And so let's go ahead and just review this example like we did last time one more time. Again, with simple interest right over here, you earn it on the principal only. So if you invest $200 and you end up earning $6 of interest for that first year, guess how much interest you're earning for the second year? $6 again. And for the year 3, $6 again, $6 again, and every year thereafter. Because again, keeping it simple. Compound interest, well, here's what happens. Let's go ahead and say for year 1 with $200, you earn $6. For year 2, you're going to earn $6.18 now, so a little more. And then year 3, a little more than that, and a little more than that, and a little more than that. And so just want to make sure that we understand that there's a clear difference between the two. We're going to go over some examples really quick up next, and then we're going to dive into some practice problems for today. All right, guys. So with that, hopefully we've had enough time to write this down. If we didn't, just take a quick moment to screenshot this. We're going to be using these examples plenty throughout this class. And Roselle, no worries. I'm glad that you're here, though.
Oh, missed it.
No worries, King. Here you go. 3, 2, 1. That was good?
Yep, there it is.
Cool. All right, so let's go ahead and chat, everybody, real quick. Let's chat about this. So which interest method yields more money? I'm going to give you guys 30 seconds again. Type ready when you're ready. Let's see if we can get this one right on round 2. Go ahead. 30 seconds. Go. Type ready when you're ready. Don't reveal your answer. All righty, in 3, 2, 1. Answers. What do we got?
Compound.
Yeah, but which one? C or D?
Oh, no, shoot. My bad. I'm steady writing this down.
Yeah, that's the thing. We got to know. We got to be absolutely sure. And so most of everybody here picked D, and that is absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Hey, Dominique, you got some feedback in the mic, so make sure to keep yourself muted, all right? But so with that, there we go. All right, so with that, the answer is going to be D. It is. We had the same exact problem yesterday. I want to make sure I put it up again to make sure you understand. If you are earning interest off of your interest, then eventually you're going to make more. Because going back to this example over here, think about it. If I'm earning interest off of $200 versus $206, well, I'm going to make more money if I'm earning the same interest rate between both, right? And then eventually that 206 becomes 212, 218, 225, and it keeps going up and up and up and up and up. But for simple interest, you can only earn the same amount every single year based off of what you put in. So again, compound interest is the better way to go. Now, here's how compound interest, let me remind you guys how compound interest is a bad thing in your life. If you have credit card debt, your interest that you're paying, that's compound interest. You are literally, if you are only making the minimum payments on your credit card, you ever look at that thing and you're like, man, if I make these minimum payments, oh, it's going to take me 8 years to pay this off. What? Yeah, that's because if you make the minimum payment, the interest pretty much takes over most of what you've already paid. And so you're really only paying like really only a little bit of the entire payment that you made that's actually going toward the merchandise you purchased versus the actual amount that you owe. So it's crazy when it comes to credit cards. And so up next here, let's go ahead and go through this guided warm up. And again, if you feel like you're confident with this, go ahead, blast this one and just, type ready when you're ready. But we're going to go through this one together to make sure that everybody here understands this. So we're going to avoid the whole word problem strategy for one moment because we know that this is simple interest. So I'm going to make sure that we know that right there. Here we go. You invest $3,000 into an account that earns 3% simple interest every year. How much interest will you earn after 5 years? All right. So let's go ahead and go through this again here. Let's go ahead and first understand what the question is, everybody. So remember, just go ahead and highlight that last piece right there. All right. And so everybody, let me ask you real quick. Are we being asked to, well, let me not even ask you because I'm going to ask you directly. Everyone type it out. What are we being asked to figure out? Be specific here. Be very specific. I want you guys to practice this, identifying what it is that you're trying to figure out. Good. I like that so far. I really like that. Good. Has anybody here, either on Tuesday or yesterday, did you get caught on one of the problems thinking that you had to find the total account value and you didn't, and you found like interest instead, or you thought you tried to find interest, but you were supposed to find the account value instead? Yeah, that's going to happen, right? And that's because we have to read the question first. We have to understand what we're trying to figure out. And so I'm really trying to teach y'all some good lessons here. That way you don't have to learn them the hard way on the ASVAB. So here we go. How much interest will you earn after 5 years? So we want interest earned. Interest earned after 5 years. Hey, King, really quick, would you mind muting yourself while you're not talking, boss?
Yes, sir.
So interest earned after 5 years, that's going to be $, whatever, right? That's going to be right there. Now, let's go ahead and highlight that important information. Let's go ahead and see what's up here. Let's go ahead and understand truly how we're going to get that interest after 5 years. So in purple here, we invest $3,000 into an account. Everybody, what do we usually call that again? What you initially invest? You can grab the mic too if you want.
Principal amount.
Principal.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Yes, that principal amount. Exactly. That's the initial amount, the principal amount in the account. So you can go ahead and say that the principal here. And again, principal just means initial amount. That's all that means. It's just the initial amount. That's all that means. And so principal amount equals $3,000. So that's what you start off with. Now let's go ahead and highlight this next part here in green, 3% simple interest every year. That's pretty self-explanatory, right? The interest rate, that's going to be 3% yearly. And then they tell us that the term is 5 years. So they kind of already give us the term there. 5 years is already given to us. So we're fine. We're fine here. We're good to go. So with that said, let's go ahead and do this thing. Everybody, what's the easiest kind of way to go about this? Is it to, well, I'll let y'all go ahead. I kind of want y'all to input more.
3 times 30.
Move the decimals to the left on the principal to make it 3 times 30.
Hey, yeah, y'all are so excited on those techniques I taught y'all. Yeah. So for the folks that weren't here yesterday or Tuesday, I want to make sure we understand this nice and clear here. So the plan here is going to be find the interest for 1 year. And then multiply it by what? After we find the interest by 1 year, multiply by 5 years. Exactly. We'll multiply by 5 years because remember, when it comes to simple interest, what you earn in year 1 is the same as year 2, year 3, year 4. So if I make $5 this year for interest, I make $5 next year and the year after and the year after. And so you're just going to multiply by the number of years that you got. That way you can just keep it nice and simple. So let's go ahead and see what that looks like. We're going to have, what did I use for the percent? 3. Okay, so we're doing 3% of, and the principal amount, which is $3,000. Again, this is going to give me year 1. This is going to give me year 1. And so here's the trick that I showed everybody this week. And so if you weren't here, get ready to get your mind blown real quick. Let me just zoom in to get your full undivided attention here. You know how when we multiply by percents, everybody give me a yes or no. When we multiply by percents, we have to move that decimal over 2 times to the left to convert it to a decimal first, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
All right, cool. So real quick, type I or give me a no. Don't worry about giving me a yes. Give me a no if you were not here Tuesday and yesterday. Give me a no if you were not here Tuesday, yesterday. I just want to pay attention to who that might be. All right, Miriam, Carmen. All right. Anybody else? Okay, Joanna. Okay. Stanley. Okay. All right, cool. So y'all 4, pay very close attention to this trick that I'm about to show you. Instead of doing this, so instead of taking the decimal place, moving it 2 times to the left to get 0.03. So instead of doing 0.03 times the 3,000, instead of doing that, you can do this. Watch how crazy this is. You can do this. So either or works. I can instead just keep it at 3%. And instead of moving this decimal place, I'm gonna move this one. This is the same thing as 3%, or excuse me, not 3%, but just 3 times 30. It's the same thing, because here's the thing, you're multiplying here. So you're doing 3% of whatever number. That just means 3% times some number. And so when you convert that percent to a decimal, everybody, converting a percent to a decimal is the same thing as dividing by what?
100.
Exactly. It's the same thing as dividing by 100. And so you can go ahead and do the 3% times the 3,000 and then move the decimal place at the end. It's the same reason why whenever we do something like this, like let's say we got 5.76 times 5, and then we just, we do all the math, and let's just go ahead and say it's 956, something like that. That's why at the end, you go 1, 2, 1, 2, right? You see how we do that at the end when it comes to multiplication with decimals? Same idea here. You can do the decimals at the end, or you can do it with a different number if you're multiplying them, because this is the same thing as 576 times 0.05. It would be the same thing because you're moving the decimal place 2 times regardless. Does that sound a little useful for any of y'all that weren't here? Carmen, Miriam, Joanna, Stanley, Alicia? Carmen, does that work all the time when it comes to percents? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you can do that. And when it comes to investment, you're always dealing with bigger numbers like 3,000 or 2,500. And so that's what makes sense here to do that, because the bigger number, we can still keep it a whole number, not a decimal. And so booyah, 3 times 30, everybody, what is that?
90.
That's $90. Notice if we would have done it here, 3 times 3,000, that would have been 9,000. And then you got to move the decimal place back. So we go 1, 2, same thing, $90. So you see, it's the same thing. Oh, Carmen, this isn't my special after hours class. You actually have to sign up for those. Yeah, so we'll talk about that later. No, I don't have an after hours class, but yeah, so we have $90 there. And so everybody, what does that $90 represent again?
The first year interest.
The first year interest.
First year interest.
Exactly. That's the interest for year 1. Interest for year 1. So now that we have 1 year of interest, everybody, how do we get 5 years worth of interest?
Multiply by 5.
Exactly. Times 5 years.
Which is 450.
450.
9 times 5 is 45.
45
Bring
at
that zero
0.
back.
Mhm.
And that's going to be the interest earned after 5 years. And so with that said, are we done? Like, is 450 the answer, or do we have to add it back? Which one is it?
We're done.
We're done.
Add it back.
No,
Done.
we're done.
We're done.
Yeah, we're
We're
done.
done.
We're done. That's it.
Yep. Because remember, guys, we're looking for the interest. How much interest? Not how much is in the account. So when we find the interest, we're good. We're done. If they ask us to find the total in the account, then we would go back and add that 450 back in, right?
Right.
And so exactly. And we're done here. Answer here is B. So if you went ahead and you got B, congrats, you're good. If you didn't get B, do you see what happened? All right, cool. So my folks that weren't here, throughout the week, are you guys doing good so far? Joanna, Carmen, I think it was Alicia as well. You guys doing good so far here? Stanley, Miriam. Yeah, let me know, guys. Because look, even if you weren't here Tuesday and yesterday, like, ask questions. I'll repeat myself. It's all good. Because once we get to the practice, we're going we're going all the way here. Shortcut made it easy too. Perfect. All right. So I want to show you guys the difference between that and compound interest. So look, I'm going to give you a similar problem here. $3,000, 3%, but I'm only going to do it for 2 years here because we're going to be doing compound interest. All right. When it comes to compound interest, again, it's a little more complicated. I'm not going to say that it's complicated as in like it's way harder, because it honestly really isn't that much harder. What makes it harder, everybody? What would you say makes compound interest harder? Like, quote, harder. What do you think it makes it a little harder?
Remembering that you got
Add the interest.
All right, one at a time on the mic. Go ahead and raise your hand on the mic real quick, everybody. Raise your hand on the mic or type out complete sentences in the chat box. Either way. Jadrian, what's up, boss?
So for compound interest, it's more complicated because after each interest, you add it back to the principal and you go on for how many years you had, or yeah.
Gotcha. So cool. So one more person here. Let's see if we got any different angles here. But Jadrian, that's spot on. Any one more person here? Just raise your hand and I'll call on you. And so far in the chat box here, we got Alexa saying the number changes when you're doing each year. Exactly. Drea, the initial goes up and you have to make sure to add the years in. Dominique, remembering you add the previous amount. Exactly. Yeah. So when it comes to compound interest, again, what you earn after the first year, all of that counts to earn for year 2, not just the principal now. So let me show you what that looks like in this problem. So here we go. The question asks, how much interest will you earn after 2 years? Okay. Interest. Everybody see that there? Not the account value, just interest here. Just interest. And so with that, okay, cool. Interest after 2 years. Equals whatever dollar amount. And I can't stress how important it is, guys, that we understand what the question is first, because there's nothing worse than blanking on a word problem on test time, right? You got to start with the question, understand what you're going for. Next, what we're going to do here is highlight our information and let's grab it. You invest $3,000. And also what we got here, and not in green, because obviously I just used green. Some of you have purple. And then we have 3% compound interest. Compound interest. And then we have a term of 2 years here. They tell us, hey, 2 years right there. So here's how this is going to work, guys. This is exactly how we're going to do it. So what we're going to do is take 3%, just like in the last problem, 3% of that $3,000. And so for my folks that weren't here on Tuesday, Wednesday, again, everybody pay attention. This is only for those that were not here on Tuesday and Wednesday. I want to give you guys a chance to try this out real quick. What is the easy way that we can do this? Instead of doing 0.03 times 3,000, what can we write instead? And Carmen, if you want to use the mic, you can. If you want to, anybody else as well. Carmen's like, I don't need no mic. I already got it typed out. Boom. Exactly. 30 times 3. Exactly. Great job, Carmen. Let me know, Miriam, Joanna, Stanley, if you guys agree as well. But yeah, we can turn this into 3 times. Instead of moving this decimal place, just move this one. Make your life easy. And you got $90 for year 1 for that interest. But here's what makes compound interest different. You are not just going to go ahead and be like, oh yeah, 90 for year 1, 90 for year 2, 90. No. What you're going to do is you're going to take the 3,000. So this is step 1. Step 2, you're going to take the 3,000 and you're going to add on that $90. And now you have $3,090. Next, what you're going to do is now multiply that by 3% again. The 3090 now, not 3,000 now, 3090. Because the thing is, it's compound interest. You're now earning 3% on everything you have because it compounds on what you've earned. So again, that's why it's called compound interest. It's interest on interest. That's what makes it beautiful here. And so again, if you have an IRA account, 401k, those are great investment accounts to be in. So with that, boom, now we're going to take 3% again, but of the $3,090. So far, really quick, while I continue here, does anyone have any questions? I want to make sure that everybody feels like they've gotten their questions answered. Let me know if you have any questions, yes or no. Yeah, Alicia, so let me know. Where is it that I lost you at? Because I want to make sure I catch you right where you are, so that way we can make that progress. So, was it, hey, why do I get 3090 now? Like, which step do you want me to redo here? And if it's the whole thing, don't worry, I can go ahead and come back at the end of the problem. Just let me know. Gotcha. It was frozen for you? No worries. I got you. So let me go ahead and finish up here, and I'm going to come back and go through it one by one. So Miriam, we'll get to 3090 though, really quick, because we found $90 of interest for year 1, and we add it back to the principal amount, because now we're going to calculate the year 2 interest, but it's going to be off of the 3090 because it's compound interest. You are allowed to earn interest on interest now. So we add that back and we calculate again now. So we add that back and we calculate again. And so now this is very similar. We're just going to do 3 times 30.9. And now we can go ahead and do that. 30.9 multiplied by 3. You can go ahead and do it that way, or with mental math, you know that 3 times 30 is 90. 3 times 90 cents is $2.70, which will give you $92.70. Or you can just go ahead and do it, and you'll see that you'll have 9 times 3 is 27. And then 3 times 3 is 9. And then you put the decimal place back, and you still got it. And so either way, you're all good there, either way. But I'm going to come back and explain the whole problem in one moment. But are we done, guys? Is 92.70 the answer?
No.
No.
Oh.
No.
So what do we do?
Supposed to add it to the $3,090.
With the
Right,
2
so
years.
if we're being asked only to figure out how much interest was earned, we need to add up all of the interest.
Right.
So year 1 interest.
Okay.
That was
Yeah,
90.
year 1 interest was the $90.
Right.
Year 2 interest was $92.70. Guys, for a quick moment, just go ahead and ignore the answer choices. I see that there was a little typo there. The answer is going to be A, technically, because it says about how much, but it should be 182.70. Okay, that's my fault there, but no worries. So when we add this together here, we're going to see on the right side, boom, we add it all together. And we get $182.70 of interest earned. So again, this is total interest for 2 years.
Oh, that's what I was messing up at. Okay.
It's all good. I like hearing it.
I got you.
All right, cool. So I want to take a moment here to go back for Alicia and everybody here who, we want to be able to understand what happened from start to finish. Right? That's a respectable request. So let's go ahead and go through it start to finish here. So remember, when it comes to interest problems, they're going to tell you simple interest or compound interest. They're going to tell you. If they don't say compound, you are allowed to assume simple interest, okay? If they don't say compound, you're allowed to assume simple. But here we go. They tell you that you start with $3,000. Boom. And then you have 3% compound interest. And then you have 2 years. So I first began by writing all that down. We want how much interest after 2 years? Again, how much interest after 2 years? Boom. 3,000 initially invested, 3% compound interest over 2 years. Boom. And from there, exactly. The question was supposed to read about what's the account value. I meant to do that, and that's why D should have been the answer, but we're only going to be doing the interest since the question only says interest. But back to it. So here's what we got to do, guys. You're going to do it like the last problem for the first year of interest. 3% of 3,000. You do your thing and you get $90. Here's where compound interest is different again. That 90, add it back. So you do the 3,000 that you initially invested, add the 90, because in year 2, right here, year 2, you are now, let me make this smaller here. You are now earning interest off of your interest. Okay, that's why it's $3,090, because you now are earning interest on your interest because it's compound interest. And so when you do the math again, you get $92.70. And so boom, that's what you get for the year 2 interest. And so to find the interest that you're earning after 2 years, you take what you earned after year 1, you take what you earned after year 2, add it together, and you're done. Does that make sense to anybody there? Yes or no?
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Perfect. What's up, Ronald?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. I'm still here working, but paying attention at the same time.
Good, man. I'm glad. And so to answer Frida's question, so what if we were looking for the account total? Everybody who wants to answer that, raise your hand in the mic if you want to use the mic there. But what if we wanted to find the total amount in the account after 2 years? What would be the easy way to do it, Dominique?
Add the amount to 3,000.
Exactly.
Add everything up, basically.
Exactly. Just add everything up. So once you find that 9270 for year 2, add that back to the 3090, and you got the total amount, and you're done. So let me know if that makes sense, Frida.
You're
What's up, Samal?
what's up with it?
Got a personality up in here, man. I love it. All right, cool. Makes sense, Frida. Perfect. All right. So don't worry about this real quick. Don't worry about this real quick. We're going to talk about working backwards in a little bit. So go ahead. If you haven't written this down yet, go ahead and write this formula down. Interest earned is equal to your principal amount, so the original amount, times that percent rate, times the time, all divided by 100. All divided by 100. So go ahead and write this down pretty quickly here. We're going to come back and do this going in. No, Alexis. No. So to get the total, you would just take that 3090 and then add the 9270 on top of that. And that's it. Exactly. Yeah, that's right, Drea. Yep.
Teacher, can you actually use that formula for that problem that we just did, which is the same thing?
No, because this is simple interest.
Okay.
Yeah, this is your simple interest. For compound interest, you literally just have to do it over and over and over again. There is a way to do it faster with compound interest, but the fact of the matter is you need a calculator to do it in one step. Like you have to go over the exponents over and over again. Exactly,
Okay.
Alexis. That is exactly correct. You would only add the total interest to the years in the principal. Yep, exactly. Total interest of the years to the principal. Right on. These are good questions, guys. Any other questions before we continue here? All right, looks like we're good then. So coming up next, we got practice time. So with that said, guys, we're going to have 2 minutes per question. Remember, on the ASVAB itself, we only have 1 minute per question. And that's an average amount of time. You know, it could be a little more, it could be a little less. But here's the thing. I'm going to give you the first minute as ASVAB time, and then I'm going to give you the extra minute to continue calculating, finish up your work, check your work, make sure that the answer that you're ready to pick is 100% good to go. All right. So just remember, you know, it's okay if you don't get it done in a minute. You can learn how to calculate faster. Like that's just practice. I want you to focus more so on being able to come up with the right plan to move forward with. All right. So we're going to have simple interest in here. We're going to have compound interest in here. We're going to have working backwards problems in here. So if you wrote down the formula, but you weren't here Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll let you know that again, we're going to be reviewing it. So that way you don't feel like, oh man, I'm completely lost. I'm going to show you the ins and outs to it. So with that said, give me a yurt if you're ready to go, man. Let's get it.
Yes.
Yerp.
Let's go.
Yes, sir. Yerp.
All right, Captain.
Oh, I love y'all. All right, here we go. Let me go ahead and mute everybody real quick so that way we're all good to go. All right, 2 minutes for ASVAB, or 1 minute for ASVAB time, 1 extra minute to check your work. 3, 2, 1, guys. Let's get it going. We have 45 seconds left. We eclipsed that 1 minute mark a little bit ago. And we're looking at our final 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. What do we got, gang? Okay. All right. Let's see what's up here. Let's go ahead and see. All right. So I'll let y'all unmute yourselves real quick. Let's go ahead and check it out here. All right. So first things first, everybody remind me, whenever we're doing a word problem, what's the first thing we got to do?
Read the question.
Read the question.
Yep. And I'm pretty sure Jadrian is tired of me asking that question, man. He knows. Yeah, read the dang question first. Exactly, man. Read the question. So with that said, Miriam, you're super happy for the first time. How old are you? Like what? Anywhere between 19 and 30. And this is the first time that you're happy? I mean, I'm glad it's me then. I mean, I'm glad I did it for you. So I'm joking. I'm messing with you, girl. All right, so here we go. First things first is read the question. So what is the ending balance on the account? What is the ending balance on the account? All right. So first things first is understand the question. So we want the ending balance. That's the ending balance that we want. So now let's go ahead and read the information, extrapolate what we need to, and let's get it going. So first things first, highlight your stuff. 4,000 is invested. All right, cool. 4,000 initially. Sorry, let me change this real quick. Boom, so $4,000 deposit. Next, what do we got here? Simple interest. Does this make anybody happy, seeing simple interest?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, right?
Like the kid on Christmas right there.
3% simple interest. Simple interest. And then we see that it's for 4 years. All right, great. So everybody, true or false? Listen carefully here. I'm going to test y'all real quick. True or false? Can we find the first year of interest, then multiply it by 4 because it's the number of years, and then we're done? Is it that easy?
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yes,
That's exactly what I did.
Yep,
Yeah, I did that too.
you can.
No.
No. You got to add everything up at the end.
Bingo. You got to add it back at the end because remember, we're looking for the what?
Ballot, the total.
ending balance.
Ending balance.
The ending balance. What I said stopped at finding the interest. Now we need to add that back to find the total. So I saw a lot of people were excited. They were like, yes, 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 yes. You're saying you're spitting facts here, but you got to make sure that the whole story is told though. Got to make sure the whole story is told. And so all I'm doing here, like I'm not trying to embarrass anybody. I'm going to make that very clear here. I'm just trying to make sure that you guys are paying attention to detail, because is it true that in life, those who pay more attention to detail typically find more success?
True.
True.
True. Fact.
True.
Yeah. So I'm just trying to make sure that you guys pay more attention to detail as we can. That way we can get more and more precise here. Like I want y'all to be killers at this. That way this never becomes an issue in the actual ASVAB. So here we go. First step is find year 1. So 1 year of interest, 3% of $4,000. And so what we can do here is, again, instead of doing 0.03 times 4,000 and kind of look at those numbers and zeros and decimals and cry, nah, we're going to go ahead and just do 3 times what, everybody?
40.
40.
Yeah, 3 times 40. Exactly. Because remember, instead of doing the decimal place over here, we can do it over here. And so bam, 3 times 40. That's pretty easy, right?
Yes.
Mr. Brito, thank you. 120. So that is 1 year of interest. Again, if you hear that snoring,
Hey,
he's
that
getting
dog
real
act-
comfortable. He's getting
Hey, that
real
dog-
comfortable, man.
Hey man, your dog act like he got a job.
Right? You got a rough day, man. That's what it is. So here we go. We got that 120 for year 1. How do we find 4 whole years of interest now? What do we do? Easy. What do we do?
Times it by 4.
4.
Right, times 4 years. Exactly. So step 2, 4 years times the 120 bucks. What's that going to give us now, guys?
480.
480.
480.
480, 480.
So
However you
bad.
want to say it, man. We're good. Boom, 480. There we are. But we're not done yet because step 3 is now find the total ending balance.
Add it back to the principal, correct?
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So we're going to do the initial $4,000 plus the 480 that we earned. And sorry, I wrote that a little small for some of us. My bad. There we go. And so then we're going to have 4480. Answer is A. How we feeling, gang? Especially those of us that weren't here on Tuesday and Wednesday. So
Yay.
Carmen, Stanley, Joanna, how we doing? And this is your opportunity to ask questions as well. Like I want you to ask questions on anything that you feel like is a little iffy. Like, is there a step that, like, can you get to a certain point and then be like, okay, I just need a little more explanation there. Like, this is your time. Like, you're paying for these classes. Let me know, where is it that I can explain it better, because I want you to improve. Yeah, honey, for sure. Yeah, we got to work on compound. Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one. It just takes time. You weren't here Tuesday, but you're good. Cool. I like that, Joanna. And so, Nicole, yeah, if you wanted to do this in your head, like, really think about it. What you can do is do, hey, 3% of the 4,000. So that's 3 times 40, so 120 for 4 years. So 120 times 4 is 480. Add it back, 44. Like, you can literally do a problem like this in your head. You can literally do this in your head. If you're improving and working on your mental math skills, you'll see that you can do this in your head for sure. Drea, so you know what to do by boosting my little confidence, getting these right. Like you said, the compound is a beast. I got y'all. Okay, 2 days ago you would have guessed, but now you know how to solve it out. Like, don't you love it when you're looking at math that at first looks disgusting, but then you're like, wow, once this person actually explained it, this actually is possible. Like, that's all I'm trying to be here to do. That's what I'm trying to do. Yeah, we got this. All right, so no other questions here. Again, if you have any questions at all, guys, for real, let me know. I want to make sure you succeed. So let's go ahead and go to question 2 here. And again, if you can get to a certain point by yourself and then you feel nervous or stuck, note that. Like, take a note, put a star on your paper at that point, and then get ready to ask me once I get to that point. I'm gonna say that one more time. If you are trying the problem out, which everybody here should be, and you get to a certain point and you're like, ah, crap, I don't know where to go from here, put a big old star on your paper at that point. Because once I go over it, if I didn't already answer that confusion, then I want you to speak up and ask me, hey, Mr. Duran, what do we do right here? Again, this is your time, not mine. I'm here for you. 3, 2, 1. Practice number 2. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Nicole, that's funny. "45 seconds left. Emily, I'm glad. But check that work though. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, don't worry, man. As long as you had the process right, if you made a couple of computational mistakes here or there, that's fine. That is fine. All right, cool. Getting those answers in, good. And again, guys, look, put the answer that you got here. Put the answer that you got. If it's a guess, put a question mark next to it. Did anybody here run out of time, but they had the process right? Like, you knew what you were doing, but maybe you just need a couple more seconds. Like, was that you? And that's fine, right? Because, yeah, we're dealing with bigger numbers. That's cool. So what does that mean? Well, that means that as you continue practicing, you either need to do one of two things. Either you need to get, and listen to me, everybody, to get faster here, you need to do one of two things. Either get faster at calculating or get faster at pointing out the process. So the question, the plan. If you get faster at both, well, guess what? That's great. But you have to understand yourself. Like, do I really hate calculating? Then get better at calculating. Like, don't make excuses. Like, honestly, let me know if this makes sense, everybody. Typically in life, it's the things that we tend to avoid the most. That's where our focus should be. Is that true for anybody here? The things that we tend to avoid are the things that we should probably be doing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I believe that one. That's just like if you always practice with you right-handed, but you practice with your left-handed because it's just as important as your right-handed.
Yeah. And honestly, hey, I'm not even going to go off on a tangent right now, but Keto, that makes sense. I'm going to go off on a big tangent there, but yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. Next, we're going to go ahead and do, and Alexis, I haven't had a chance to get to that yet, but please remind me, please text me. I'll go ahead and get to that. So next, so here we go. You invest $29,500 at a simple interest rate of 7% for 12 years. How much money will be in the account? Everybody quick. Are we doing interest or total amount?
Total amount. Total amount.
Yeah. Total amount. Exactly. How much money will be in the account? So how much money? Not how much interest, how much money, how much total money. So here we go then. All right. Invest $29,500. So invest $29,500. Great. What do we have here? Interest rate, 7%. Simple interest. So 7%, simple interest. Cool. And then 12 years. Anybody look at that 12 years and was like, oh my God. Anybody? Good. Yeah. Hey, it's all good. We'll get there though. It's all good. Hey, we're just multiplying here, right? So here we go. Initially, we're going to go ahead for year one. We're going to do 7%. And let me just make that the same color, be consistent here. 7% of $29,500. So that's the same thing, everybody, as 7 times what?
Is it 295?
Okay. So 7 times 295. So we can go ahead and use mental math here, or as always, we can go ahead and just, do long multiplication. That's fine. So 295 times 7. Let me just try to do this with mental math real quick. 7 times 200, so 1,400. 7 times 9, 63. So 1,400 with 630. So that's 2,030. 2,030 plus 35. That should be 2,065. So let's see if that is true. Is that 2,065? Let me see. So 5 times 7, 35. Carry the 3. 9 times 7 is 63. Carry the 3, 66. It's 2 times 7, 14. Carry the 6 is 20. Booyah. Cool. There it is. So did y'all see my use of mental math there? Did anybody look at that use of mental math and think that with practice, they can get there?
Sure. The big number.
Mahone, give me a yes.
Yes.
Give me a yes. We can all get there, guys. Look, this is no different than doing a repetitive task. Like, I'm going to take it back to when I used to work at McDonald's. Like, believe it or not, my first job was at McDonald's, and I loved it because it taught me so much about customer service and how to provide for people. So like, I will never, ever forget that. But the fact of the matter was, when I first started at McDonald's, like, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I had no idea what the hell I was doing. Was the job easy at first? Hell no. But what happens? You come in for day 2 and day 3 and day 4, and you repeat and repeat and repeat the same tasks over and over and over and over again. Guess what happens after 5 months of working there? Do I have to question myself on how to make a McChicken? No. Do I have to question myself on how to do place this certain order and do a special order? No. It gets automatic for you, right? With enough practice, things become automatic. Mental math is one of those things that can be automatic. You just need to have enough practice in there. Everybody, yes or no, does that make sense? Because I really got to encourage you guys to try mental math out.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Seriously. So there we are. That's $2,065. Everybody, that represents what again?
First year.
First.
Yeah, the first year interest.
First year interest, simple interest.
Exactly. So to find, how many years of interest do we need?
We need 12.
Exactly.
12.
Mm-hmm.
So to find 12 years of interest, all we're going to do now is go ahead and say, boom, 2,065 multiplied by 12. And so now we're going to go ahead and do that. And so you can think of that as trying to do literally 2065 times 12. Or if you're using mental math, this is going to be the same thing as saying 20,650 plus whatever 2065 times 2 is, which if you're trying to do it quickly, that'll be 4,100 and whatever, 30. And so you can do mental math if you want to in your head, but regardless of the fact, you should receive 24,780 when you do both of these. I'm going to show you the other way too. You'll get it the other way too. 5 times 2, 0. 10, carry the 1. 6 times 2 is 12. 13, carry the 1. 0 times 2 is 0, carry the 1. 2 times 2 is 4. Next, you're going to put that 0 where it goes. And then you're going to do 5 times 1 is 5. Then you got 6 times 1 is 6. 0 times 1 is 0. 2 times 1 is 2. Then you put it all together. 24,780. Notice how mental math can shorten the problem for you.
Yep.
Notice how mental math can shorten the problem for you. And if you're wondering how I got this, let me just go ahead and show you here. Let me not use blue, let me use brown here. This is 2065 times 10. And this is 2065 times 2. Because everybody, what is 10 plus 2?
12.
That's 12.
12. So I just split and glued. That's the mental math strategy that I use. And so since everybody here is in the group tutoring pass, at least, remember that there are mental math sessions that you can go through in the group tutoring pass. I can't tell you how many people, when they hit me up that they passed, they tell me, holy crap, the mental math helped. Like not just learning the word problems and the strategies, but calculating quickly is so much more important as well. You got to put everything together here. You got to really just wrap the present completely. But there we are. This 24,780, that represents that interest for 12 years. So are we done?
Nope.
No.
Got to add that back to the principal.
Exactly, because we want to know how much money is in the account. So we take the 2480. So my last thing, so it's number 2 here. So 3, what we're going to do is take the 24,780.
And add it to the 29,500, right?
Exactly.
Okay. All right.
And so now that we got that, boom, let's go through it. 0, 8, 12, 1. That's going to be 14, 1, 5. $54,280. Answer is C. How are we feeling about this one, gang?
Just want to cry.
Good.
I get it.
And Roselle, did I answer your question there about the 4,130? This was just mental math. That's all that was. That was just mental math. So if you did it this way, that's fine. If you did it this way, that is fine. I just wanted to show the difference between mental math being just 2 simpler steps as opposed to 1 long step. Perfect. Yeah, just want to make sure you understand that. I don't want to confuse anybody. All right, so Carmen, I see you looking left and right. Are we good? Again, Carmen, if you got any questions at all, girl, this is your time. Go ahead and ask if you got questions. I got
you. Well, no, I don't have no questions. It's just that I keep the mistake that I keep doing is that after I'm timed the interest with the principal, I add that to the 29 and then I times it by 12, so I get a different answer.
Yeah, I see why though. It's because you added the money back before you scaled it up to 12 years.
Right.
Yeah. So good. Point that out. Hey, that's a good thing. Like you literally just pointed out your mistake, which is a great thing that not a lot of people can do. And now we're just going to work to correct that mistake. That's it.
Okay.
Yeah, because you were thinking compound interest. You were thinking, oh, I got to add it back to multiply again.
Right.
Nah, this is simple interest. Get all the interest first, and if you need to, add it back to get the total.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
I don't like math.
You don't like math? Hey,
No.
you're good. You're fine. But here's the thing: if you hate something, you might as well get good at it. That way, you can hate it for real.
For real.
Yeah. Here we go. Next question, gang. 3, 2, 1. Let's get cracking. And 1 minute left here. Okay, Joanna, that's good. All right. 3, 2, 1. Time. Let's go. Alexis. Oh, what? What happened? What happened? Did you not read something you're supposed to read? Chantel, you got stuck. No worries. Simone didn't finish. Didn't finish Clarky. Ran out of time. Pedro. For the most part, everybody else has answers here, though. Let me see here. Let's see. Miss a step. Didn't finish. Alexis, all good, I think. Go ahead. Cross your fingers. Got the setup. Got stuck. All right, cool. Let's go ahead and see what's up, gang. Also, quick thing before I do the solution here. Who here knows Mr. Marcus Solomon, one of the other ASVAB coaches? Who here has heard of Mr. Marcus Solomon? If you haven't, he owns another Facebook group, but oh no, if you guys haven't, dang. I was gonna tell y'all that I was like, I'm playing a chess game against him right now, actually. And I was just gonna like just spout some crap about it, but no worries. So here we go, guys. Question was, first thing, about how much is in the account after 2 years. All right, cool. So here's the thing. Question's always important, guys. How much is in the account after 2 years? So we want the account total. Want the account total. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and gather our information. Let's see what's going on. Obviously, we see right here 2 years. So I'm going to write that in black, actually. So we got 2 years. Then I'm going to go ahead and highlight in blue here. 8% interest compounded yearly. Everybody, what's the keyword there in blue? And let me go ahead and give you all mic access real quick. My bad. What's that keyword in the blue highlight?
Compounded.
Interest compound.
Did anybody here calculate simple interest?
No.
Nope.
Admit it if you did.
Nope.
Admit it if you did. I know at least one person here did. Who did? Who started
No,
off?
I skipped that part. I forgot that.
Emily, you skipped it.
Yeah, that's the part I skipped. That's why I got so confused.
See, it's all good though. It's all good. See, we have to point out those mistakes though. If that was the mistake you made, guys, we can train ourselves to just pay a little more attention to the words. Like we can do that. We can do that. And if we can have a little fun with it and make fun of ourselves in the process, sure, let's have some fun with it, right? All right, cool. So 8% interest compounded, and then the initial deposit was 4,200. So it was compounded. That was probably the big first, little error block. You were excited though. It's all good, Jonathan. So that's the first little error block that we might have run into right there, that it's compounded, not simple interest. So now we're going to move forward here and compute what year one is.
There we go.
All right, so here we go. And guys, remember, if you're not using the mic right now, go ahead and mute yourselves real quick. But yeah, so we got 8% of the $4,200 down, which is the same thing as saying 8 times 42. So from there, we can do 8 times 42. I'm going to show you with mental math because I know you guys know how to calculate by hand, so I'm not going to pander to you. I'm going to use mental math here. 8 times 42 is the same thing as saying 8 times 40 and 8 times 2. So 8 times 40, 320. 8 times 2, 16. So 320 and 16, 336.
God damn it.
Hey, language, but I appreciate the passion. So yeah, 336 bucks. What does 336 represent?
The first year interest.
First year.
Interest, first year interest.
Exactly. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the 4,200 and add the 336 back.
Mm-hmm. That should give you 4536, right?
Let's find out, Kim. Let's see.
Let's see.
Yup. Mm-hmm.
And Simone's like, it better be.
Exactly.
4,536. All right, cool. So number 2 here, step number 2, we are now going to calculate the interest on year one. So compound interest, again, compound interest. Let me go ahead and just change the color of that text there to blue so that we see that it's right here again. Compounded, compound interest. So compound the interest from year one. Compound the interest from year one. And so what that means is we're going to now do 8% of, I'm going to use purple here. Of the 4536.
I was right. What the hell?
Yeah, we're going to do the 8%. We're going to do 8% of 4536. And so now that's going to be the same thing as saying 8 times what, everybody?
45.
0.36. Because again, we can move the decimal place over 2 times. And boom. And so now we're going to do 4536. Oops. 4536 times 8. And so if you're looking at this and you're like, man, 4 decimals or 4 place values, how am I going to do mental math here? You don't have to. Honestly, like with the bigger ones, if you use mental math a lot, you'll be able to use these and calculate quickly. So boom, just go quickly as fast as you can. 6 times 8, 48. You just have to know your mental math. Like you got to know your simple multiplication tables to get this done. So then you got boom, 3 times 8, 24, 28 with the 4 included. 5 times 8, 40, 42. 4 times 8, 32, 36. And so then you're going to take those 2 decimal places and put them back. And so then you have $362.88. This should always be more than the first year, because again, if it's compound interest, you should be earning more every year. So that is one easy way that you can tell that you're on the right path. If your year 2 is more than your year 1, that should be the case. And so now what we're going to do is take that 362 bucks and just add it back to the 4,336 or 4,536, excuse me. So there we are. Take it, add it back, and you're done. And if my handwriting is off at all for anybody, please let me know. I'll rewrite anything you need me to. Just let me know. And so we have adding back to 362.88. So I'll put the zeros here. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit just so you can see it a little better. So then we have the 88 cents at the end. 6 plus 2 is 8. Then we have the 3 plus the 6 is 9. 5 plus 3 is 8. And then the 4. So we should have $4,898.88. So if we have $4,898.88, should we round up or round down?
Round up. Up.
Up. Yeah, because 88 cents is right there, close to $1. So that's going to be $4,899, just about, which is going to be D right there. Oh, Alexis, that was the O moment. Okay, cool. All right, sweet. So let's talk real quick, guys. So go ahead. We need to do the self-assessment here. This is called self-assessment. This is where your ego, you literally take it out of your brain and put it in the corner for a second. Anybody here who had a less than perfect experience here, call yourself out in the chat box, type it out. What was the mistake that you made? And did you understand how to move forward? So call yourself out. What was specifically the mistake that you made?
Yes, this is Ronald. For me, it was the multiplication. I just need to get faster at that. But the step was comprehend. I understand the step pretty much. It's just the add in the multiplication. Like I was like kind of like stuck there for a minute. But I understand the step, and I just need to work on my multiplication table.
Good identification. Let me go through the chat box real quick here. Nicole asks, so why did you have to round up? Yeah, because the question said about how much. So right here in brown, about how much. And so there, that's what's telling you to round to the nearest here whole dollar amount. Because when they say about how much and all of your answers are whole numbers, then if you have a decimal over here, yeah, you want to go ahead and either round it up or round it down. And because 88 cents is pretty close to $1, boom, you just round up. So good question there. Carmen, simple interest, that's fine. That's fine. We'll correct that. Simone, you'll call yourself out. 2 steps. Second step, number 2 here, compound interest. Cool. Okay, so numbering it really helps you guys out. So identify, good. I like that. I'll keep doing that. Giselle, I started right, but didn't know what to do. So okay. So Giselle, you're saying you completed the first year of interest, but then the second year you were like, what do I do here? Let me know if that was the case. Second part there, Panase, that's fine. Decimals back in. Need to work in your mental math. So for speed there. Second part again. My mistake was calculated wrong. Hey, I appreciate the apology, Clarky. It's all good. Mess up the math at the beginning, so the entire calculation ended up being wrong. That's what happens, right? You make one mistake at the beginning, whole thing is off. So these are good responses, guys. Very good responses. Simple interest because you got really excited. It's all good, Joanna. You didn't read the question properly, so Bria, that came back to bite you in the butt, right? Interest second year. Yep. Cool. All right, good. Thanks. You understand simple and compound interest, just need to work faster. Exactly. So now that you know what you're doing, now that you know how to drive that car around in the parking lot, now it's time to go to the highway, right? Now it's time to speed up the process. Now it's time to, really pay more attention and be a little more vigilant, a little more faster. Good. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's go into this next question here. 2 minutes. Go. So remember, guys, use those notes for simple versus compound interest. Use those notes. I'm going to go over this next problem a little more carefully, okay? Priyana, I got you. 1 minute left. Again, don't freak out about calculating quickly. Do what you can. Four, three, two, one. Time.
Times 10. Wait a second. Thousand.
All right. And again, let me know, like, were you on the right path? You just ran out of time, or were you completely stuck? Where are we at? Where are we at here? So we have a lot of answers here. This is good. This is good. Lorraine, never mind, did it wrong. Oh, but Lorraine, were you able to catch your mistake?
I accidentally did simple and I reread it and I said, oh crap, it's actually compounded. So that's where I messed up.
Gotcha. So Lorraine, were you like halfway through the problem when you realized this? Were you almost done? Where were you?
I was like done. I'm like, oh yeah, I got the answer. And then I reread the question. I go, oh man, I did it wrong.
Gotcha. So this is one of those moments where we can use this as an example of why it's really important to read that question first, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And then gathering that information appropriately, right? Because if we're talking about interest, you got to ask yourself, simple or compound right away. Got to do it. So let's go ahead. He Panay ran out of time, had to get up and get something. Nah, no excuses. I'm joking. So here we go. All right. So first things first, how much interest has the account earned after 3 years? So we're looking for how much interest the account has earned over 3 years. If you picked D, what was that answer around? That was the total, right? That would have been around the total. I'm not going to say it's the actual total because I would have been wrong. But here we go. So we want the interest for 3 years. And then we also have $1,000 invested initially. So you invest initially $1,000 deposit. And then over here, we got ourselves 10% interest compounded right there. Compounded, one more time, compounded. Everybody see that? Compounded yearly, okay? Got to be annoying there. You got to make sure we read that nice and clear. And so we got 10% interest compounded annually. All right, cool. So we want 3 years for this. All right. So everybody, for compound interest, I want you to type it out. Type it out in the chat box. What is the plan for this? Don't give me the numbers. Don't just say the numbers. Like actually, like generally speaking, what does compound interest have us do? Go ahead, type that out as best you can. And I'll go ahead and give you my own rendition. But I want to know how you understand it so far. And again, type it out. I know we can talk here, but I want you guys to type it out. Add interest on top of the interest. Okay. After you multiply 1,000 by 10, but then the next, oh, you got confused, Clark. No worries. I got you. Jadrian, add the interest to the interest, basically stack it up, right? Stack it back up. Multiply the rate times the principal after moving the decimal. Then after that answer, add that answer to the principal and do it again, however many years. All right, so right there, everybody look at Alexis's answer. I'm not gonna lie, like Kay, Jadrian, good answers. But I hope you can appreciate the detail that Alexis's answer has. Notice how she generalized here. she generalized. She said, hey, look, you're going to multiply that rate by the principal, and then you're going to add that back to the principal and repeat the process for however many years it takes. Like that right there shows me, Alexis, that you understand this to the point where I can give you, well, you know, in a couple of, maybe in a couple of days here, I will be able to give you any question for simple or compound interest, and you will apply that general strategy to it and then fit the numbers in. That is the exact opposite of what people who blank out on test time typically do. People that blank out typically try to memorize the numbers and the problems and then hope to get the answer. But when you memorize and understand the concept, and then basically what happens is that you can fit any numbers that they give you into your process because you understand the concept. And so once you understand the concept, again, fit whatever numbers they give you and you're good. And so Alexis, much praise to that. That was an excellent answer. I like that. Honey, interest on top of interest over time. Exactly. Yes. Clarky, get the interest for the first year, then compound the other years. And then repeat for Frida. Yep. Multiply the first initial and then add it back. Good. Let's get to it. So first things first, year one. So for everybody, remember, because we're dealing with compound interest, we're basically going to find year one of interest. Then we're going to add it back and then calculate year two. Add it back, calculate year three. So copy Alexis's words right there. If you didn't see it already, like literally, if you want to write down that, like that is honestly something that I would put in my own notes for real. That was really good. So there's that. All right. So first year, here we go. We're going to do 10% of $1,000. So 10% of $1,000. Everybody, that's pretty easy, right? Because if you're doing 10% of 1,000, that's the same thing as saying 10 times 10, which is $100. So far, everybody so good? $100 for the first year interest. We good on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So then we're going to add it back. So now we're going to add it back. 1,000 plus 100 equals 1,100. Because now we're going to calculate year two.
Mhm.
All right, so year two, we're going to go ahead and do 10% now of what number? 1,000 or no?
1,100, right?
Exactly. Because again, compound interest. That's why we're going to stack it back on now. And so we're going to do 10% of 1,100, which is the same thing as saying 10 times 11. 10 times 11, everybody.
110.
Exactly. So notice year one, you earned $100 in interest. Year two, you earned 110 in interest. You're going up, which means that you're going in the right direction here. There we are. And so we're going to add that back. We're going to add that back. So we're now going to do 1,100 plus the $110. Someone needs to go ahead and turn their mic off right there, please and thank you. All right, 110. And that's going to give us $1,210.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So from there, we're going to go ahead and then add it back. Or no, keep going, actually. Excuse me. For year three.
Yeah.
For year three, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead now and take the 1,210 and do 10% of that. $10% of 1,210. All right, cool. So what we're going to do here is that's going to be 10 times
121.
Well, it's going to be 10 times 1,2.1.
Oh, okay. See, that's where I messed up.
You're good because
Gotcha.
you're going to move that decimal place twice. Remember, 1,
Right.
2. And so then from there, 10 times anything, you just move the decimal place over to the right now one time. So that gives you, boom, 121. So look at that. That's pretty cool, man. If you look at it, you have $100 in interest in the first year, then $110 in the second year, then 121 interest in the third year. So you guys notice, again, compound interest, you earn what you earn on top of what you earn, which is what makes it so awesome. Not when you have credit card debt, though. And so with that said, boom, we're going to take all three of these. What are we going to do with these now?
Add them together.
Add them together.
Exactly. So everybody, I'm going to do some quick mental math here to show you what I'm doing here. I can do 100. So this is step 4. Final answer here. 100 plus 110 plus, and actually, I don't even need mental math for this. This is actually pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
So you have 100, 100, 100. So 300 plus 30 plus 1. All I did was just do 100, 100, 100, 300. 30.
31. See.
1. And so that makes it $331. And so this is the interest earned after 3 years. And so with that said, that's why C is the answer. Who's feeling it? Who is feeling it? Alexa's been feeling it. She's been sitting back for like the past 5 minutes, just like, man, I'm gonna go ahead and check my Facebook. I'm gonna check my Instagram. Let me check my stocks and bonds. How's my GameStop stock doing? That's probably her right now. She's just chilling back there. Yep, I know it. All right, good. So let me go ahead and see these comments here. Did we figure out, like, you know, where we got stuck? Were we good? Was I able to answer some of those questions here? Emily, so wait, how did we get 30? Where are we with the 30 here? So allow me to follow along. Step 1, step 2, right here, 30?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I was just trying to make it easier for us for mental math here. So instead of doing 100 plus 110 plus 121, I said, hey, 100, 100, 100, 300, 0, 1, and 2. So that's going to be 30, because it's, 0 in the 10th place, 1 in the 10th place, 2 in the 10th place. So 10 and 20 makes 30. And then 0, 0, 1, there's a 1. And just add it back together.
Okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah, and so I'm just showing you techniques to use in your head, so that way you don't have to like stack it on top of each other to try to write it out.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just little things, and that didn't make too much sense. Just keep calculating your regular way, because again, that's the beauty of math. You can do it a million different ways. It's up to you.
Okay.
Cool. All right, so look at that. So Nicole, you got it, even though the time got to you. That's good. Drea, I calculated the first 2 compounds right, then made a mistake, but I knew D was too high. But after my calculations were off, made a good guess. Hey, that's what's up. Good guesses are, and on test day, good guesses are yes. When we're practicing, we always want to understand where we went wrong, for sure. Because we want to guarantee, because again, it's not about getting one problem right in practice, guys. It is not about getting one problem right. It is about knowing that you'll get the next one right. That's what this is about. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's dive in. $45 seconds to go. And actually, I'm going to give you guys an extra 30 seconds here. Actually, forgot that this was the working backwards one. But yeah, this is the working backwards one. So if you were here Tuesday, Wednesday, I expect you to at least be able to set it up. If you were not here, don't give up. Try what you can, do what you can. but I'm not gonna knock you off for getting it wrong. Like, I'm gonna show you how to do this one. So yeah, I'm giving you an extra 30 seconds here. All right, 3, 2, 1, time. Take a guess if you need to. If you got the setup, go ahead and put that down too. I just want to know how far we can get on our own here, but I'm going to show you how this problem actually isn't too terrible. I'm going to show you how this actually is not too terrible. All right, cool. So let's go ahead and try this one out here. So first things first, got another question, right? Got another question. So how much money did Luca initially invest? So let me help you guys out first and foremost. Like, even if you've never seen a problem like this before, you guys were pretty quick to point out, especially those of us that were confused, like, yo, I'm lost already, right? We were able to point that out because everybody, what are we being asked to find in this question? Let me go ahead and give you all the mic real quick. What were we being asked to find?
Principal.
Principal, yeah. The initial
Principal
investment.
account.
Right. We're being
Initial
asked to
amount
find
he
that
invested.
initial amount. This is how much money did Luca initially invest? So we want the initial amount. So we want the starting amount. So before I even continue, does everybody see that so far? Everyone, do we see that? Yes or no in the chat box? Do we see that? That we want the starting amount because it says how much did Luca initially invest? Do we understand that so far?
Yes.
Cool. I want everybody here. Yes or no in the chat box. Yes or no, yes or no, yes or no. Because the thing is, if we can get that first step, then the rest, yep, exactly. We want the starting amount, which is the principal. Exactly. We want the principal. Because if you can understand the general idea that we are looking for the starting amount, then the rest, I got you. I got you. Watch. I'm going to show you how actually easy this can be over time. Because obviously, I'm going to show you the formula setup. And then over time, with you practicing on your own, you'll get this down. So here we go. Everyone, what I'm going to do really quick is I'm just going to copy this right here. Okay, I'm just going to copy that right here. So I'm going to write this down here. I equals P times R times T over 100. And just as a reminder, so we had the chance to write this down earlier, right? Interest earned equals the principal times the rate times the time, all divided by 100. All divided by 100. And remember, guys, this makes sense, right? Because think about it. Let's say we were going forward. I want everybody for a second, just put your pencils down for 1 second. Just put it down. Remember, if we're calculating simple interest, really quick, before I continue, look at me here. It's true that we would do the percent times the principal, right? The percent times the initial amount. And then after we do that, we would multiply by the number of years, right?
Right.
All right, cool. So one more time. If we're doing simple interest, we'll just take that rate. We'll do that percent times the principal, so the initial amount. And then when we get that number, we just times it by the number of years. Everybody, look at this right here. You take the rate, multiply it by the principal amount, and then once you get that number, multiply it times time. Do you see what's happening there?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The same thing. This formula is the exact same thing we're doing for simple interest. It's just actually formalized, right? We actually write down letters and things as what's going on. But you know that that percent, that rate right there. Remember, when we move those decimal places, that's the dividing by 100. That's right there. That's shown for us right there. So we would end up doing the rate times the principal. Somewhere in there, you move the decimal places. And then you just multiply it by the time, the term of the account. So before I continue, does everybody understand that this formula will give you the interest earned because you do the rate times the principal then you times by the number of years. Just want to make sure that we're good there before I continue. Yes or no? Yeah, so in this case, the time will be 3 years. Yeah. Carmen, you're absolutely right. So now does it make sense? Just the formula. That's all I care about. The formula. We're going to talk about the numbers right now in a moment. But I just want to make sure that the formula makes sense to you. All right. So for most people so far, all right. So here we go now. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to highlight what I got. So everybody, if we're looking for the principal amount, we are indeed looking for P, right? Principal amount.
Right.
We're looking for P. So Courtney, the principal is going to be the starting amount, that starting dollar amount. So that's right here, principal P. It could be, you know, they invested $500, 480 so far, right? But whatever that initial amount was, that's the principal. Now, if we see right here that we have investing for 3 years, everybody, 3 years falls under interest earned, rate, time. Which one is that one?
Time.
Absolutely, that's time. That's the T right there. And so all I'm doing is writing down my information here. Next, I see here that they say continue on to say, you know, investing for 3 years into an account, earning 12% yearly simple interest. So 12% yearly simple interest. Everybody, would that be the interest earned or the rate? Which one is that?
That'd be the rate.
The rate.
Correct. That is our interest rate right there. That's the R. That is what it would be. So 12% interest, simple interest. That is the rate. That is the rate. So at the end here, we see we have $180. So let's not kid ourselves. You know, what's that going to be? Let me go ahead and use this light blue, right, or this purple right here. Earned $180 in interest. What would that be represented with?
Interest earned.
Exactly, Mr. Burrito wrote it down there. That's interest earned, but Jadrian, that's correct as well. Yeah, that's the interest earned. That's the interest earned. Boom. And so let me pause for a moment. And I want to show y'all, I want to ask y'all one more time here. Do we see that we have this formula filled out? We have the formula filled out, but we're only looking for the principal. Like we have a number for interest. We have a number for rate. We have a number for time. All we got to do is plug things in and then solve for that principal amount. So before we even get to the actual math, I want to make sure that we understand what's going on. Like, yes or no, do we understand what's going on? I'm going to answer Frida's question right now too. So Frida asks, so in this problem, it doesn't matter if it's a simple or compound. No, Frida, this is specifically for simple interest, working backwards with simple interest. I'm going to do a little more research to see how possible or how likely it is that you'll get a working backwards problem for compound interest. I'm going to go ahead and do my research there and see if it's likely that you'll get one of those. Because if so, I'm going to go ahead and actually make some of those and put them in the math bootcamp and put some examples up on YouTube.
Correct.
All right, perfect. So yeah, but these are all keywords. So yeah, so we use this formula always for simple interest. Giselle, correct. Yep. This is the formula for simple interest. This is the formula for simple interest. Yep. All right, so that's where we are. And so all I'm going to do now is plug in everything I got. I have the 180 for the interest earned. Then I have for P, I'm going to leave it alone because that's what I'm looking for, right?
Right.
Fraction for myself. All right, and then we have the 100 being divided there. The rate, I'm going to plug in that 12%, and then the 3 years time for the loan or for the account. So notice all I did was just plug everything in, plug everything in, plug everything in. And now all I got to do is solve. This is where your mental math comes in. This is where you want to go, you know, balls to the wall here and really figure out, okay, what's the fastest way I can get this done? So if we're taking a look here, let's figure it out. Is it wise for us to do the 12 times the 3 and try to simplify it with the 100?
No.
No.
No, it wouldn't be wise in this case, because here's the thing. When it comes to the ASVAB, you don't get a calculator. If you had a calculator, yeah, doing all that stuff together, yeah, that would make sense. But we don't have a calculator here. And so what we're going to do is try to keep the numbers simple. Notice that with mental math, keeping the numbers simple makes it the easiest. And so what is the first step that we should take to do to both sides, everybody?
Times
Divide
100.
by times 100.
Times 100. That's right. Simone, home run right there, being the first one to come out the gate with that. Exactly. We are going to multiply both sides by 100. And so let me grab a color I haven't used yet. And the reason that I'm multiplying both sides by 100, remember, everybody, solving equations is the art of
working backwards.
Working backwards.
Music to my ears. Music to my ears. And notice, everybody, this bar right here, what operation is that? Multiplication or division?
Division.
Yeah. So here what we're doing is taking all this and dividing it by 100. So to do the opposite, we multiply by 100 and we have to do it to both sides.
Is this where you cancel out those zeros at the end too?
No, not here, not in this case specifically, because you're multiplying by 100. And so that would actually just extend the decimal place to the right. So here this would be 180, then with 2 more zeros. Does that make a little more sense, King?
Yeah.
Cool. And so boom, I'm going to keep the P in red, but then write everything else in black. So times 12 times 3. And so here's the cool thing about this. This is why you want to keep things simple, everybody. Because if you notice here, if I just take it one thing at a time, if I go ahead and divide by 3 at first, to keep things simple, and I go ahead and divide both sides by 3, let me use a different color to etch these out. If I do that, and I go for it, everybody, what is 18,000 divided by 3? We know what that is.
6,000.
Exactly. Because we know that 18 divided by 3 is going to be 6. And you just bring the zeros.
Yeah.
6,000. 6,000. You guys see that there? Do you see why we're keeping the number simple?
Yeah.
If you would have brought it together, it would have been a lot harder. You would have been doing this. 36 going into 18,000. What the hell?
I have a question, Mr. Duran.
36 goes into 180. Do you know that? Probably not, right? And so that's the thing. When it comes to the ASVAB, keep the number simple. Do your thing there. Do it one at a time. So now I got you, Ronald. So you do 18,000 divided by 3. Boom, you get 6,000. But you still have the 12 times that P. And so then lastly, we want to take the 12 and divide it on both sides. Because again, the opposite of multiplying by 12 is dividing by 12. And so you zoom, and let me use a different color there so that way we can follow along easier. And so everybody, what is 60 divided by 12?
That's like 4, 5, 5.
5.
Yeah, that's what I like.
And then bring the zeros back.
2 zeros. 3 zeros.
5,000.
2 zeros.
500.
Dang. Okay.
And therefore, the principal amount equals 500. What's up, Simone?
What's up with it?
Boom. And that's how we get B $500. But if you are looking at this for the first time, my concern is not the calculations and all that crap. My concern for you is only this. I want you to understand that this formula works for simple interest right here. Interest earned equals principal times rate times time, all divided by 100. I know seeing it for the first time can feel a little disorienting, right? You know, we're already tired. It's a 2-hour session. I understand. So what I want you to focus on primarily is the formula itself, the calculating and all the hoo-ha. Hey, come back, watch the recording, watch me do it again. But the most important step is the first one, which is understanding the formula. So if you got that down, then I'm really happy for you. If we can make the next step and plugging things in and understanding how things plug in, even better. If you understand how to solve the equation after the fact, even better. Okay, so just take it one step at a time. That's all I'm saying. Take it one step at a time and you'll be fine. And so with that said, I'm going to open up the conversation here to first Ronald and then anybody else who has a question. So go ahead.
Yes, sir. My question was, can we actually we could have used both numbers, 12 or the 3, to time it by the 18?
To divide it? Yeah.
Yeah, would it give me the same thing?
Absolutely. Yep. Would have given you the same exact answer. The only reason I divided by the 3 first and not the 12 is because I know that 18 divided by 3 is 6.
Okay. Got you. All right.
That was the only reason I did that, because I knew for a fact that 18 divided by 3 is 6.
Wow, so simple. Wow.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. And so Alicia, yeah, good job pointing that out. You know, you have to come back and rewatch. Again, practice is what we need to do. And so if there's a better way that I can explain it, or if you need me to find another video for you, that's what I'm here for. Just reach out to me. So let me see here. Frida, so you always multiply the outside number by 100 and then start the divisions with the number closer to the principal. Yeah, you would. Yeah, Frida, in a sense, pretty much, yeah. Drea, so did I just get lucky multiplying 12 times 3 for the 36, then dividing into 180? Yeah, you got lucky, because then you notice that 36 into 180 is 5. You know, you would have had to like do a little bit of multiplying on the side, like 36 times 4, 36 times 5. Which one is it? But yeah, for sure. You'll still get there. How are you going to upload this to YouTube? Oh, no, Alicia, this is going to be uploaded in the course. You have access to the course as part of the group tutoring pass. So if you need me to help you finding that, just reach out to me. Here's the link. GT intro. Guys, this is the link to the first video in the course. So if you click that, not right now, but if you click that, it'll take you to the first video in the course, and it shows you how to access all the recordings. So if you click that right there, again, GT intro, boom. If you click that link, that's the very first video of the course.
18 times 3, 8 cancel to 3.
Mr. Duran, is this formula only apply if you're working backwards only?
Yeah, if you're working forward or backwards, yeah, it works. Mm-hmm.
Okay,
absolutely.
Awesome. Wow.
Got you. So here we go. We're not gonna do this one. Are we gonna do this one? Yeah, we're gonna do this one. Here we go. You should be able to do this in 2 minutes. Go. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Just get it. Make sure to know what it is that it's asking you for, and just hit it. And also, Mr. Brito, if you want to type your question out, I'll answer it. We got about 45 seconds left. And 3, 2, 1, time. What do we got, gang? Put those answers in. If you were on the right path, go ahead. Say, hey, I just ran out of time. I just ran out of time. If you were lost and stuck, hey, go ahead and write that out. Again, because it could have been the numbers that were just freaking us out. Because if you're looking at this, $3,200, 1% compounded annually, 5 years. It's a pretty straightforward problem. It's just going to take time. It's just going to take time with calculating. And if you're viewing it the same way that I am, that it's just going to take some time, you're in a good spot. You're in a great spot. So here we go. 3,200, 1% compounded. Compounded, okay? And then 5 years. All right. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and do the first year here. Year 1, 32, or we're going to do 1% of 3,200. Everybody, what's 1% of 3,200? Same thing as saying 1 times 32. So 32 bucks for year 1. Add that back for year 2. We're going to go ahead and do 3,200 plus 32. So that's going to equal 32. All right, cool. So what's next? What we're going to do now is 1% of 32. Everybody, is that easy? Yeah, because that's 1 times $32.32, which is going to be $32.32. So you guys see how this problem, even though we're going for 5 freaking years, it's straightforward. Like you just have to keep adding and adding and adding and adding, and you're good. And you're good. So watch. Here we go. $32.32. Boom. So we're going to add that back. So we're going to do 32 plus $32.32. Before I continue, do you guys see what I'm doing here? Again, calculate the interest, add it back. Calculate the interest, add it back. And you're doing that for how many years, everybody?
5.
Exactly. So yeah, it's just annoying. Like that's all this problem is. It's not hard. It's just annoying. There's a difference. And so we're going to add that back. So we're going to have 32, 64, 32. So we're going to do 1% of that now.
That would be 32.
And so what that's going to be, boom, that'll end up being, whoops, I shouldn't have done that. Let me back out. There we go. That'll end up being 32.64 with that 32 cents attached at the end of it, with that 32 there. You can keep that there or not. You can just keep rounding to the nearest cent, which is what I would recommend, and then add it back again. So you would do 32.64 added with that 32.64. And so when you add that, you'll get 3,296.96. All right. So now for year 4, 1% of that, which will give you 32.969, which would be 32.97, just about. This is approximating now, okay? This is approximating here. And so with that, booyah, we're going to go ahead and add that back.
So this is 1%, 32.96.
And so that's going to give you 3 here, 9, 9, 12, 3, 3. And the decimal place is right there. So that was for year 4. So now for the final, year 5, this was crazy, right? We're going to do 1% of the 3,329.93, which would end up giving us $33.29 with 93 at the end, which would be 30 cents approximately. Again, approximately. And so you're going to take that finally and add it back. And you're going to get 3, 12, 13, 6, 3, 3. So you'll get just about 33.63 and 23 cents, which would end up giving you answer choice B. Closest to 33.63 or that's it right there. So there's a lot. Hey, I'm sorry, Carmen. My bad, Carmen. Yeah, no, I was getting annoyed myself. Like you guys, you could tell, like I was getting annoyed too with how much calculating there was. And that's the thing. Like, as long as you can practice to the point of being automatic, like you're gonna kind of sound like me, where I'm just like, all right, you're doing that, da, 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 da. But with that said, that's why B would be the answer here. So did anybody get B here? I see Alicia put a guess there for B. Nobody confidently got B. Wow. Nobody confidently got B. That's crazy. But again, don't worry about the calculations, guys. Yes or no? Does the procedure make sense? Does the procedure make sense? Take the percent, then add it back for the next year. Take the percent, add it back for the next year. Is it going to be a little annoying? Yes. Yes. Repetitive math can be annoying. Absolutely. But if you want to take a picture of this and follow along, like on your own, do it. Try it out. If you want to take a quick screenshot, I'll go ahead and let you guys take it for 5 seconds real quick. I'm going to end class in a couple of moments here. So let me just take you through a question right here. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Yeah, I know you wouldn't be able to do this in a minute. I know. This one specifically, I know.